The first trailer for the Suicide Squad revealed the movie's huge villain, and it's a big giant starfish because, of course, it is. BD here to take a closer look at the trailer for James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. This thing is definitely rated R. It gave us our first look at the big crazy villain, and this group of characters looks like they're really gonna hate each other. Except maybe Bloodsport and Ratcatcher 2. Y'all catching those vibes, maybe? Maybe some vibes?
The sexual tension is crazy!
Looks like the squad is gonna start out on a rescue mission for Harley Quinn, but she's gonna save herself. The two big takeaways from this, though, are one, Harley freed herself very violently, seeing as she is covered in blood, and we get a look at the action scene later in the trailer. Given all the flowers flying up behind her, I'm thinking those aren't real. The unreliable narrator thing might come into play with her again. Important thing number two is that Idris Elba introduces himself as Bloodsport.
Bloodsport.
The hardcore fans, we already knew he's playing a pretty obscure DC character called Bloodsport. This was revealed at DC Fandom, but this seems to be like a message to everyone else who is going to watch this trailer and think that Deadshot has been recast from the first Suicide Squad movie after rumors like that were surrounding this casting early on with James Gunn's movie. If you want to get to know Bloodsport or anyone else in the trailer, we have a whole video about that on Comicbook.com's YouTube channel already. Highly recommend checking that out. It's a really thorough breakdown, and you might learn something about these DC Comics anti-hero villain people things. I'm going to make a prediction here about this alternate squad roster we see, which consists of, from left to right, Weasel, Black Dart, Mongol, Javelin, Captain Boomerang, the Detachable Kid, Savant, and Rick Flag.
There's too many of them.
This group mostly gonna die pretty early on to set the stage for the movie. We don't see most of them anywhere else in the trailer interacting with the rest of the gang, which looks like the movie's main squad, so maybe James Gunn is really gonna kill Michael Rooker in 2 consecutive comic book movies. Can my heart take it? We're not sure yet.
It's just too much for me.
The group meets Peter Capaldi's character, that's the Thinker. They're hitting him with some intimidation tactics, if you will. He looks very comics accurate, which is awesome in itself, but if his powers are in line with the books, they need him to fall in line because he's basically telekinetic by use of technology. He can easily outsmart everyone around him, and if he can't, he'll just control their minds. So, as long as it doesn't get blown up first. Especially if he coughs on anyone.
You cough without covering your mouth.
Harley, although that isn't an open invitation for you to cough without covering your mouth.
Finally, the reason you're here, the villain. We get our first look at Starro in this trailer. The shot of this giant starfish's leg goes to show this ain't your Patrick Star, kids.
I understood that reference.
This is a Godzilla-type cosmic starfish with mind-controlling abilities, and he's about to wreak havoc on Panama and possibly the rest of the DCEU. You never know with James Gunn. Starro first appeared in Brave and the Bold number 28, a comic clocking in at a minimum of $1,200 for a low-grade copy right now under the Buy It Now tab on eBay. This book is from February of 1960. Starro is a wild villain that slaps its own little starfish offsprings onto the faces of his enemies or other people that it wants to control, and it controls their minds and gets those people to do its bidding. Unclear whether or not Amanda Waller knows about Starro when she sends the team on this journey, but she probably does, and that's why we call them the Suicide Squad.
You're an asset, an expendable asset.
Last thing, John Cena's Peacemaker has some raunchy bits about eating a whole beach's worth of if it means achieving liberty. This speaks to the character who believes that there is no cost too high to achieve peace, which is often why he ends up violently breaking up peace, because he sees opportunities to create more even through violence. That's a big bag of irony. What Easter eggs and references did you catch in the trailer for the Suicide Squad? Share your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know how hyped you are. Scale of 1 to 10 on Instagram at Brandon Davis BD. And feel free to follow me. I'm hyped for this one, and I'll be talking about it a lot between now and August. For more updates, head over to Comicbook.com/DC. I'm BD. I'll see you there.